They're called Tubeway Army, and this is their new single, Our Friends Electric.
So at this time, any act that had an obsessive following, like Tubeway Army, for instance, would go out and buy anything and everything.
Well, I bought the picture disc and got it home and saw the man's face on the picture disc, and I knew that this was the man I was going to love forever.
But it broke me, without a doubt. At that time, Top of the Pops were doing a thing called Bubbling Under, where they would take a record that was outside the chart. That week, because of the picture disc, we got Top of the Pops, and I think 3 or 4 weeks later we were #1.
The picture disc was sold out within days.
You knew that every week the Numan fan would be back to buy this week's edition of whatever the single was, and they were obsessive.
And I wonder what I'm doing in a room like this. There's a knock at my door.
And the point of Gary Numan, obviously, was that he was future, pretentious, electronic. And you could tell all that because he had shoulder pads and a side parting.
You were never sure if he had a wig on or not.
The only thing I remember about Gary Numan, dance-wise, is that he went like that.
And the great thing about Gary Numan was that all his stuff sounded like it was played with one finger.
Doom, doo, doom. It was just one way of like winding up the family, just sitting there going doom, doo, doom. If you don't stop that, we might have to lock you in the shed again.
Because this is what's so galling for people who've spent years studying at the Conservatoire in Paris, and they finish up playing in wine bars in Dulwich. And Gary Numan can play with one finger, and he ends up playing Wembley Stadium.
In cars!
Here in my car, I feel safest of all.
I'd been watching Top of the Pops for years, and everybody would always look at the camera, wherever it went, and always look happy and bright, and so it was just great, you know. And it didn't suit the sort of music I was doing to look like that, and it didn't suit the sort of persona I wanted to be.
I wonder if he's like the life and soul of the part, and then you think, no, he's not. Look at him. He's got in fights as a kid, and it's left him damaged.
Here in my car, I know I'm starting to think about leaving tonight, although nothing seems right in cars.
I think I'm reasonably normal. I had a few problems when I was a kid. Interacting properly. When you're having a conversation, this man says something, this man says something, and there are parameters which within that conversation flows, and I'm not good at that, apparently.
You used to wonder if you sort of, you know, walked around the streets like that in the boiler suit and walked into a pub, you know, all right, mate, half a mile, thanks.
I'm down to walking on that.
I was trying to be strange and interesting, and it just come across as being a wanker.
By my side.
I got sent a live bullet in the post. That scared me a little bit, because they're not easy to get hold of.
When I was at school, my friend Tracy, she loved David Bowie. I love Gary Numan, and everyone was asked what they wanted to do when we left school. And we said, well, we don't need jobs. She's going to marry David Bowie and I'm going to marry Gary Numan. That's us sorted. When we got married to each other, and we had our rings inscribed to each other, and I had mine inscribed to Gary with thank you for making all my dreams come true.
In 1979, a TV show appeared out of the mystical East. It had strange faces with strange voices. It was Kung